The concept of the means of production is foundational to Marxist theory, encapsulating the materialist perspective of societal structure and evolution. At its core, the means of production are the physical, non-human inputs used for the production of economic value, things, for example, like factories, tools, and raw materials. In Marxist analysis, the means of production are critical in determining the societal structure, especially regarding the division of society into different classes. In a capitalist society, which was the primary focus of Marx's analysis, the means of production are owned by a small segment of society, the bourgeoisie or capitalist class. This ownership is not about having material possessions, but is instead about having control over the process of production and, consequently, over the labor force itself. The proletariat, or working class, in contrast, does not own the means of production and can only sell their labor power to the bourgeoisie in exchange for wages. This dichotomy between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat forms the basis of class struggle, where the interests of the bourgeoisie, which are to maximize profit, are fundamentally opposed to the interests of the proletariat, which are to improve wages and working conditions. The relationship between the owners of the means of production and the labor force is not static, but dynamic and conflict-ridden. Marx theorized that the capitalist system inherently leads to the exploitation of workers, as capitalists seek to extract maximum surplus value from the labor of workers. This surplus value is the difference between the net value of the product produced by the laborer and the actual wage paid to the laborer. The capitalist, by owning the means of production, is in a position to exploit this surplus value, leading to wealth accumulation for the capitalist and economic subjugation for the worker. Marx's analysis goes further in suggesting that control of the means of production also confers political and ideological power. The ruling class, by virtue of their economic dominance, can exert significant influence over the state apparatus and the prevailing cultural and ideological norms. This influence helps perpetuate their control over the means of production by legitimizing the existing class structure and suppressing any revolutionary impulse within the working class. However, Marx also envisaged that the capitalist mode of production sows the seeds of its own demise. The inherent contradictions in capitalism, such as the tendency toward the concentration of wealth and the recurrent cycles of economic crises, would eventually intensify class conflicts. This intensification could lead to a revolutionary situation wherein the proletariat would overthrow the bourgeoisie, seize control of the means of production, and establish a socialist system. In this new system, the means of production would be owned communally, not privately, which Marx believed would lead to more efficient production and a more just society. In a broader historical context, Marx viewed the control and nature of the means of production as the driving force behind the evolution of societies. From feudalism to capitalism and then to socialism and ultimately communism, each stage of societal development is characterized by who controls the means of production and how they're used. This materialist conception of history asserts that it's the material economic base of society that shapes its superstructure, which includes its social relations, political institutions, and cultural ideas.